adding and subtracting integers, and I, like, remember struggling with it and having to go to extra tutoring with my 6th grade teacher, and I still couldn't figure it out. And then 7th grade, it was something similar, and so what ended up happening is I retook Algebra 1 in 8th grade.
Welcome back to Hype's She Is Me college interview series. Today, Mira is talking to us about how she had to retake a math class in middle school and really wasn't good at it, and how she transformed and changed to really enjoying math in high school and even majoring in physics in college. Let's backtrack a little to the beginning. Can you remember early on when you started to develop an interest in physics or even math and science, STEM in general?
So in middle school, I went into like 6th grade and I was just not very good at math. Like, to be honest, like I was not doing very well in, I think it's pre-algebra or some like very like 6th grade math. I wasn't doing very well. And I actually remember it was like adding and subtracting integers. And I like remember struggling with it and having to go to extra tutoring with my 6th grade teacher, and I still couldn't figure it out. And then 7th grade, it was something similar, and so what ended up happening is I retook Algebra 1 in 8th grade. And when I did that, I actually was able to finally slow down and understand all of the concepts that we had gone over. I felt like I was always learning things that were ahead of me. And by retaking this class, I developed a really strong foundation in algebra. And that allowed me, I think, to start enjoying math a lot more because I had a strong foundation and I was going at my proper pace to like understand everything that was going on. And then at the same time in 8th grade was when I started to learn about physics. I was in a all girls middle school actually, and our physics teacher gave us a lot of like attention for our projects, and he really was the first introduction I ever had to the subject. And I already knew that I liked it, but we didn't do anything super in depth. I at the time like would never have really imagined myself majoring in it or anything, but I do remember enjoying the class and like doing fairly well in it. And then when I went into high school, um, going off of that strong Algebra 1 foundation, I did really well in like math, and I had so much confidence in myself with it. And I had really developed a growth mindset with math problems. Like, if I was given a problem that was really particularly challenging, I knew that I could do it because I had the foundational skills and I had everything in my toolbox to solve the problem. And so, as opposed to like giving up on harder problems, which I saw some of my peers do, I always just like believed I could do it and believed I can do it and like persevered with it. And so then going into like my later years of high school, when I actually did start to take physics and it came a little bit more naturally to me, I got super excited. And like I ended up really connecting with my teacher, as I mentioned earlier, and she told me to be an after school physics teacher or tutor for all my peers. And so that opportunity allowed me to explore physics outside of the classroom and like re establish the concepts we had learned in class by talking about them after school with my peers. And so that program, being an after school tutor, really helped me explore physics outside of just in the classroom setting. And it was basically this story and this culmination that pushed me to want to go into STEM in college.
Yeah, I really like what you said about having a growth mindset because often for people in general, but especially for girls, I'm not good at math or I don't like math, I don't like science can be just phrases that we think should be true and maybe they become true over time. So, what would you say to girls out there who maybe feel like they could be interested in math and science, but they're not good at it?
Well, at such a young age, including early high school and even, to be honest, early college, you have so much potential to develop those strong foundations in math. As I said in my own story, I was not good at math, not a fan of math in my early years of middle school. I could not understand what's going on. And it was just that I hadn't properly taken the time to work at my own pace. It wasn't that I individually was bad at math. I just hadn't yet had the resources and the experience needed for me to have that skill set. For example, it's almost like a sport. Sometimes you start off at maybe a more beginner level. And if everyone around you is doing better, then it might make you feel like, oh, I can't do this, like, oh, I'm bad at it. But if you have the growth mindset needed and believe in yourself, you can put in the hard work that other people aren't and catch up to that level. And with those hardworking practices, you can exceed in the sport that you chose and you can succeed in math in the same way.